Making money while helping those in need is a common refrain from modern corporate leadership. But few entrepreneurs have achieved both aims as effectively as Blake Mycoskie, the next guest in our Performance with Purpose series, presented in partnership with Perpetual. As a founder of Tom's, he developed a footwear brand that promised to donate a pair of its shoes to a third world country for every pair sold. In 2014, Blake sold half of his company to Bain Capital at a valuation of around $625 million. I asked Blake Mycoskie about the personal values that inspired him to start and grow that business.
Originally, it was about 9 years ago. I was traveling in South America and saw many children who didn't have shoes, and I wanted to help, but I didn't want to start a charity because I didn't want to be dependent on people's donations. So my idea was to start a for-profit shoe business where every time we sold a pair of shoes, we could give a pair to a child in need. The idea of having a one-for-one model would allow a customer to buy something that they want and they need, and then also help someone at the same time, so that we could give the children that need shoes in a more sustainable way than being dependent on charity.
But what is it about this one-for-one model that resonates so strongly with consumers?
I think what's interesting about when we started Tom's 9 years ago is no one had really done anything like this before. So we really didn't know what the response would be. We knew that many people in the world are charitable, but we didn't know how they would feel about being charitable through a purchase that they were going to make and if it would influence their purchase. And what we found was, people have a desire to do good, and if you give them the opportunity to do good while they're doing something for themselves, it really, really resonates. I also think that one for one is so simple. A 9-year-old can understand it, and my 90-year-old grandfather can understand it. And so because it's so easy to understand, people see the value in it, and they also help share the story. And I think that's why one for one has created so much momentum as a business model and as a charitable model.
Blake, do you think that values-based businesses like Tom's are niche businesses, or are they in part of a much bigger trend?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. The question of will values-based businesses replace advertising expense or high advertising expense? I don't think so over time. We already as a business have seen that our need for advertising has grown over the last couple of years. But I do think what it allows is for entrepreneurial startups to enter into the conversation, to get customers, to start to build a business without necessarily having to do traditional advertising. And that's a huge thing for an entrepreneur when starting out.